Welcome to the X Block.
Am I right, Marine?
Sir, yes, sir!
Then listen up.
You're listening to the X Block. I'm Jared, he's Caleb. Let's get into it.
You are listening to the Thanksgiving edition of the X Block podcast. This is episode 35. I'm Jaren, and I'm here with Caleb.
Heyo.
You are listening to the world's #1 Xbox podcast.
Probably. Thanksgiving edition, Jaren. You already had yours, though, right? In October?
Oh, yeah.
That's fake, Jaren. That's not a real Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for in Canada? Well, I guess a lot, but it's not real, though. It's fake. It's like Monopoly money, you know?
Dude, Monopoly money is real, though.
Is it?
Like, you can hold it.
Yeah, well...
Thus making it real.
You're just being fucking pedantic now, Jaren, all right? Fuck out of here.
What have you been playing, Caleb?
Dude, we're going right in. God, Jesus, dude. Let me put my clothes on. Jaren, you went right into it. Oh, what was I going to say? Jaren, how have you been this Thanksgiving? What'd you do?
This Thanksgiving?
Canada? Yeah. Did you have Black Friday? Did you buy anything?
Yeah, I bought some gifts. Can't say what they are because some of the people listen to the podcast.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, now that I got my clothes on, Jaren, I can tell you what I've been playing.
Dude, I'm taking mine off, so you go ahead.
You did say you took off a hoodie before we started recording. Okay, well, what are we recording, John Jaren? Was it Friday? No, it's Saturday at 12:15 a.m. again. God damn it. Why do we keep recording at 12 a.m.? We did that last week. What is that about?
Oh, it's a nighttime. It's a good time.
It's not a good time. Whatever, Jaren. I fucking hate you. I've been playing Forza Horizon 5 still a little bit. I got a couple of the bounty boards that I needed. I got that one that's on that power line that you have to hit. It took me like 20 minutes. You were right. It wasn't as bad as the videos online made it look. And I sent the video to Juwan in Austin, and he was like, "What the fuck's a bounty board?" And I sent him the video, and he was like, "Jesus." And then I guess besides that, I've been playing some Rainbow Six Siege, which you played with me and Juwan in Austin. We all hit it up. Hardcore motherfuckers on there, Jaren. Turns out when you're not playing with us, we find decent people. Like you know how we played with you, and since you ranked higher, like we ranked where you were when we initially got ranked. But since you started playing with us, and then you got your rank way after the fact. You ranked at like gold 2, you know, where we did when we got ranked. Yeah. But we were now a little bit lower because we played with all the gold 2 people for so long. And so we started playing with the gold 2 people again, and we started getting stomped with Jaren. And it was the PC people were awake. Let me tell you, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, everyone and their mom got on Siege with the fucking PCs and all that shit. It was the worst. And then, you know, today we played, and yesterday I think we played a bit without you. Won like most of our matches, almost all of them in rank. So I don't know what that's about, but it's fun. It's a good time whenever you're not playing the PC people. And then other than that, we played some Halo Infinite Fiesta mode for the first Fractured event, and that game mode's pretty fun. I like it. I know that Halo is consistent. It's like a consistent, good gameplay shooter, because no matter what, and I'm not trying to be like a dickhead asshole, although saying that, I am, I guess, a dickhead asshole, but I'm always at the top of the team, Jaren. And I'm like, that makes sense, because I've played 10 billion hours of Halo over the past decade and a half, right? So
yeah, dude,
that makes a lot, and it's never inconsistent. So I'm like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. And we were out there in Fiesta mode getting spikers and fucking the gravity hammers and grappling hooks and flying around the map like Spider-Man with the grappling hammer, gravity hammer, as he does, and just beating people up. And that game's fun. Fix the battle pass progression. Something we've said before. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
And then, other than that, I've been playing Outriders with you. We finished the New Horizon update, those 4 expeditions that they added, which you had to be tier 12 to complete. Took us a while to get to tier 12, but had a fun time, Jaren. It was good.
It's true, dude. This is the rare week that I pretty much can't add anything onto what you said. I've played nothing myself except the stuff that I've played with you guys. Halo, Rainbow Six Siege, and Outriders. That's my card. That's everything that's on my desk, you know?
Yeah, it's just been a co-op week this Thanksgiving fucking week, man.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah, it did back in the day. Back in the day, Jaren. It used to be that way. We only played co-op games because we were always free. But yeah, just a bunch of Siege and Halo and what was the other one? Outriders. That's right. Yeah, Outriders. We've been playing that. That's it. So go home. Just co-op games this week. No single player shit. That's next week. I'll be less busy next week. I can actually play some solo shit. Also, Jaren, Halo Infinite comes out in like 12 days, the campaign, from recording this.
12 days.
Are you excited?
Dude, I'm actually pretty excited.
Yeah, dude, I have like you know how Spider-Man has a spider sense? you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have that like on my balls, but for Halo Infinite, where like it gets close and it starts to tingle a bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I have for the Halo
Spicy.
Infinite campaign. I'm very excited, Jaron.
Dude, I'm excited for the Halo campaign, and something else that I'm excited for is actually happening in Outside the Box.
Is this your cue to going outside the box? Is that it?
Thinking outside the box,
where we cover all the news you need to know outside the Xbox community. The first story in Outside the Box, Epic Games acquires Rock Band developer Harmonix. And Caleb, the reason I am excited for this is because maybe it means more Rock Band.
Do you think it really means that, Jaron?
It might, dude. If anyone can push it, they can definitely bundle it into Fortnite.
I was going to say, according to this Epic Games acquires Rock Band developer Harmonix article written by Samuel Talbert, over at Windows Central, they say in this article, this studio was purchased in order to, I think, put Rock Band into Fortnite? Isn't that what they said? Or not Rock Band, but to use Harmonix to implement like them in Fortnite's music and shit, right? Our team will work with Epic to create musical journeys and gameplay for Fortnite. While we're not ready to share any specifics, the whole team is incredibly excited to get started.
Yeah, dude, I'm hoping that does well and more people care about it and they kind of like merge the Rock Band styles and then we get a Rock Band game.
I wish. So I guess we should maybe back up and provide a little bit of context. For those of you who don't know, which you probably, why would you? Because you know Rock Band died with Rock Band like 2 and 3, I guess. Harmonix are the people who developed Rock Band. And they developed Rock Band 4, and that came out in, 2014, Jaron?
Oh, yeah, like a while ago, like right at the start of the Xbox One.
Yeah, right when Guitar Hero Live tried to come back, and that failed, and then Rock Band was a little bit more successful, but not enough to make a Rock Band 5 or something. And you got really into Rock Band, Jaron has played Rock Band 4 a shit ton, and how many songs have they released after launch, Jaron?
Oh, they've released, I'd say upwards of 1,000 now, and I think I own 400.
It's a lot, and it's a lot of money, Jaron. That's where all the money went that you own is into Rock Band. And Jaron convinced me, I bought, I don't know if it was a year or two ago, for Christmas, I actually asked for and got, it had a $200, $300 bundle of a guitar with Rock Band 4 that I got on, Amazon from purchased new so that I could actually play Rock Band 4, because I love the rhythm games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band and shit. Mainly, though, that's about it, but those are super fun games, and I wanted to play another one again. So I'm like, yo, Rock Band 4. And it was expensive, but, that's what Christmas is for, coming up. So that's going to be exciting to see what I get this year. But yeah, dude, Rock Band 4, great game. Epic was like, yeah, it is. And then they bought them. And now, everything is Fortnite forever.
Yeah, and for you people that are a little nervous about what we said about Fortnite, Harmonix has also confirmed that this acquisition is not affecting any plans for further Rock Band or Fuser support, with ideas for Rivals Season 26 and beyond. Any games currently available on Steam or consoles are also intended to stay available, at least for the foreseeable future.
Do you think, because I guess I should preface, I kind of think this has to be an overall kind of good thing for Harmonix, right? And what they can do going forward and their ability to create things, right? This has to be good for them.
Yeah, because I think Rock Band 4 and the money they made from that largely funded the Fuser development, which then was kind of a bomb, even though it reviewed well. No one really played Fuser, even though the game looks kind of cool.
You think that's why Epic had the chance to buy them, is because that bombed?
Well, I assume Epic could have bought them regardless. I don't think Rock Band 4 was setting the world on fire.
Is that why they bought them now, though?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me if that's why they bought them now, because I assume it usually takes a while for this stuff to happen. They probably would have started talking to them about it a year ago, which would probably have been right after Fuser and stuff had been out for just a little bit and still not doing well.
Yeah, that's a good point. And so, Jaron, is this kind of all we have to say about this, dude? Harmonix is going into some Fortnite audio development and possibly a new game. Is that about it?
Yeah, dude. I'm just hoping that it comes out with another Rock Band. That's optimistic of me, but
it is. In the age of the peripheral fucking drought, Jaron, no one wants a peripheral with a gaming machine. But me and Jaron are like, a fucking new Rock Band? Jaron, I've told you, first of all, I'm an idiot, all right? That's starting off. Second of all, game I'm most excited to play coming up, Halo Infinite. After that, what does your boy Caleb G want to play? And Caleb G doesn't care about much, does he, Jaron? He's kind of an idiot. What kind of games do I play? Games that are 3 years old for no reason, right?
Yep.
So, what's the next game that I'm excited for coming out? It's not really a game. It's the next-gen upgrades for The Witcher 3, because I want to play that again. And you're like, okay, Caleb, that's pretty stupid. And I'm like, yeah. And after The Witcher 3, Jaron, what would my most excited game be were it real? Rock Band 5. That would be my most exciting game. Where I'm like, yo, I'm just counting the days till Rock Band comes back.
Yeah, dude, I would be pretty excited. But you know what else is exciting, Caleb?
Death.
The chance at maybe finally getting a PS5 because scalpers can't get it.
Whoa, dude, that is exciting, Jerry. You're right.
Japanese retailers take action against PS5 scalpers by marking packages. This is posted by Andy Robinson over at VGC.
So I saw this in our doc, and I kind of talked to you about it a bit, like not the story, but beforehand, before we started, I'm like, I kind of want you to explain this one to me, because I don't totally understand it, but it sounds super interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah. So the retailer has reportedly informed customers that the PS5 will be opened up and a large cross drawn on the packaging of the DualSense controller to mark it's a used console. This is to obviously deter scalpers from being able to sell consoles that they bought at like full price or above, because they're going to be used consoles now.
Wow.
I think it's definitely like a creative solution that I don't know if it's 100% something that I'm like driving for across the world, because you are essentially taking people's stuff that they've paid for and telling them that they're not allowed to resell it. But I am also kind of done with scalpers at this point. Like, it's been like a year and a half now of the fucking consoles, and scalpers still buy the entire stock every time they come out.
No one expected these supply shortages to last this long, but they are, man. And Xbox is like, I think I talked to Juwan about this today. We ate lunch together. Like, a lot of the reason that the PS5, and not the only reason, because Xbox is manufacturing fewer Series X's and fewer Series S's, but a big reason, and apparently, according to like some sales reports I've seen or like heard talked about on other podcasts and things, apparently the Series S is outselling the Series X, which is bizarre. But one of the reasons why the Series X and things are so, like, even though you can't buy them at the store, why they're not being sold as much, partially, is because Microsoft is using the Xbox Series X's in the back end cloud as cloud servers, like to run Xbox cloud gaming. They actually they take a lot of the ones that they manufacture and actually use that in the back end. So that's one of the reasons that these are scarce. But then the PS5s are just selling like hotcakes, so that's why they're scarce too. And this has kind of gone on longer than people have expected. But the Japanese, man, they have a solution. They figured it out. No more scalping.
Yeah, dude, no more scalping. And I also read further in this story, at one point, a store in Japan was the only place in Japan that didn't require a credit account to purchase high-value items. And apparently, they had a first-come, first-serve policy for PS5s, which resulted in police being called and the process of hundreds of customers swarming the store, pushing staff, and knocking over cash registers.
Jesus. Dude, the people really want this shit. I'm reading this tweet from this person, too, that was from October 8th, that says it's at Avenco. I don't even know how you... AEVANKO.
Avenco?
They say LOL. Yeah. Oh, shut up, Jaron. LOL, wow. Nojima Denki Shop is so hardcore about not letting resellers get their PS5 stock, they say they will write your full name on the box at time of purchase and open/dispose of the DualShock controller box as well, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, dude, they're writing your full name so people can look you up and then come steal all the PlayStation 5s from your house.
That's how you do it, man. How else do you get a PS5 at this point?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm like, would you be on board with this if this was something they started doing in the States to curb scalping? If they would like open up the console and like mark a name on the side of it?
No, I mean, I just hate resellers, but I feel like if you want one bad enough at this point, you can still buy one at a store. Like my friend Mikey, who has a full-time engineering job, was able to secure one, Like I feel like you can get one at this point if you try a bit.
Yeah, I guess it's that kids can't get them because their parents don't understand how to get them.
Jaron, what did Michael Jordan say, Jaron? What did he say?
What did Michael Jordan say?
Yeah, what did Michael Jordan say?
A lot of things, dude. I don't know which one.
He said, fuck them kids, Jaron. That's what he said. He said, fuck them kids.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah, well, I've seen the meme with his, his face is there and it says, fuck them kids. If he didn't say it, dude, he probably, you know what? I'm going to say he said it.
Okay.
Maybe in a behind closed doors.
Allegedly.
He fucked them kids.
All right, Caleb. Well, that is the end of Outside the Box. We're going to hop into the X Block.
My voice cracked there at the end, dude. Fucking, that was a bad one. I'm going to get shit on for that, Jaron. It was bad.
It was a good one, though. I liked it.
Yeah, whatever.
Anything that has a flub is great.
Oh, okay, fine.
The first story in the X Block, Microsoft Store has apparently leaked the 15 Xbox game demos that are set up for the Game Awards.
Fucking big whoopsie, Jaren. Big whoopsie. You ever had a whoopsie that hard?
Nah, dude, I haven't had a whoopsie that hard, but it also seems like it's nothing really overly special.
It's not. True achievements here. Microsoft Store leaks 15 Xbox demos set for the Game Awards by Sean Carey. He says that these leaked because they said that the Game Award takes place on December 9th, and then he said, so far our scanners have picked up demos for 15 games with the label, quote, TGA21 demo, end quote, from the Microsoft Store. So that's how they found those, and that's how they're labeled that. So we're pretty sure. Now you take it from here, Jay.
All right, here's the list of the games. Aspire, Ina's Tale. Don't even know what that is.
I think it's Ina's.
Ina's?
Do we? You know what? We don't know. Go ahead.
Aztec, Forgotten Gods. That one looks kind of cool. Breakers Collection, Josh Journey.
That's my favorite one. You saw this one too when we were doing it. You saw Josh Journey, Totems of Darkness, and you're like, yo, I want to play Josh's Journey, dude. Here's the thing. They named this game Josh Journey. It definitely should have been Josh's Journey, right? Like, that's a better name, Josh's Journey.
Yeah, it's probably just a bad translation, right?
It gotta be.
I want to play Mind Scanners because this guy just looks terrified looking into the screen. I don't know what that is. Also, Square Enix's Nobody Saves the World, which I think is a game that they were upset that underperformed. Is that the right game, or am I thinking of a totally different game?
I'm not actually sure. I just noticed that you missed Mind Scanners, Jaren, which has a live
I pointed that one
trailer.
out. I said that was the one I was looking forward to because the man looks so scared.
Jaren, I don't listen to you half the time, man. Do you think I listen to you about anything ever?
Also, Outbreak, Contagious Memories. Dude,
This game
all
looks
memories
cool.
are contagious.
Shut up. This game looks cool, Jaren. It says Outbreak Contagious Memories, and it says return to classic 90s survival horror with terrifying environments, excessive gore, cheesy voiceovers, tense resource management, and optional co-op in this narrative-driven undead nightmare. And I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, Jaren. This one might be something we could play if it turns out to be decent.
I'm pretty
cool.
sure there's 6 previous Outbreak games that we've never played.
What, dude? Fuck them, Jaren. They weren't in a True Achievements article.
The next one, Raku Venture.
That's almost Raccoon. They stopped short. That's a typo. It's actually Raccoon Venture, and they messed up.
Oh, and then next up, dude, Space Boat. Which, I want to read the description for this one. Space Boat is an investigative narrative adventure set on an intergalactic cruise ship inhabited by various carpet-based life forms. Play as cleverly disguised Space Cat, traverse the perils of time and space, and track down an elusive shape-shifting jewel thief before it's too late. There are so many words in that don't belong together, and somehow they are.
Listen, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm going to need you to go look up Space Boat trailer on YouTube. Now, I haven't seen it, but I hope you see it, and it's as terrifying as I think it might be.
The next one, Super Toy Cars Off-Road.
I have nothing to say about this. It's another car game, dude.
Yeah, it is just another car game. The next one, The Chase of Ellen. You know, the talk show host.
Yeah, hey, good joke, Jaren. High five. Fucking nailed it.
The other one, The Darkest Tales. It's just a bear, and it says 4K trailer.
You guys seen Ted? I know you're answering yes right now because everybody's seen fucking Ted. It looks like Ted with angry eyebrows and like he's in a Legend of Zelda game.
Ted, Zelda Edition.
I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, look at him, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you, whoever the artist was who drew that damn bear, it's fucking menacing. Like, I wouldn't fuck with that bear.
Yo, dude, read the first sentence.
Join a stuffed bear named Teddy and his magical fairy sidekick Lighty on a high-stakes journey through a nightmarish realm of sinister dreams and distorted childhood fairy tales to rescue Alicia, Teddy's now grown-up owner. That's basically Ted. I mean,
dude, he's even Teddy.
That's just Ted the plot. Like, that's the entire movie right there.
Next up, The Gardener and the Wild Vines.
That game looks stupid.
The next up, Treasures of the Aegean.
Yeah. This one looks basic, but it may not be. It may be super fucking awesome.
And then the final one, What Lies in the Multiverse.
A great name. I'm looking at the art style, and I see a teddy bear on the left side hanging from a tree, like by a vine wrapped around its neck with an arrow in the head. And then on the right side, I see an apple tree and a cat, so I don't really know.
Yeah, dude. Pretty much every one of these demos I will not be playing. I will just be watching the Game Awards.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the shit that I show up to the Game Awards for, and this isn't really the shit that I'm going to be playing, to be honest. No offense to any of these developers. I'm sure they're definitely more talented than me, and I'm sure their games are probably great in their own right and good pieces of art, but dude, I just won't be playing them. And then, Jared, by the way, I forgot to mention Outbreak. We might play that one.
No,
put a
we
note.
won't.
Put a
We
put a
won't
pin
play
in
that
it.
one.
Hey, pick up your fingers right now. Put a pin in it. Right there. Okay? Put a pin in it.
We're not going to play that one.
I don't. You know what? I'm not sending you. What was I gonna send you before this podcast? A gaming mouse, maybe? Was we talking about that? I'm not sending it now.
Sega clarifies its alliance with Microsoft won't result in Xbox exclusives. Earlier this month, the Japanese publisher said it had agreed a deal that will see it develop large-scale global games in a next-generation development environment built on Microsoft's Azure cloud platform. On Friday, further details on the deal emerged via newly published comments from Sega's recent fiscal meeting, in which it moved to clarify that it wouldn't be releasing games exclusively for Microsoft. This is their quote: "We already have a very close business relationship with Microsoft. We outsourced the development of their large-scale titles, and as a third party, we are supplying a variety of titles," the company said, referring to its studio's work on Halo Wars 2 and Age of Empires. "When we announced the concept of Super Game, Microsoft was sympathetic to that vision, and that leads to the announcement this time. About this, we are not talking about releasing games to Microsoft exclusively, but rather to develop Super Game that will deliver to the world together."
Here's what I want to take from this, Jaren. Okay, so first of all, you guys should go read VGC's article. You know, they did a great write-up on this. Andy Robinson, what up? But more so, we read Jez Corden's thing about this potentially leading to a, game deals between Sega and Microsoft. Did that episode come out? Or was that it? I think that one didn't come out, right?
Yeah, that one might have been the one that got cut.
That one might have been the one that our audio dropped. Yeah, I think that's the week we talked about this. So yeah, this got announced, and I guess the dumb things we read, that's kind of, it's divine because that episode didn't come out. But Jez Corden had this whole write-up on Windows Central about more like what this means. And Sega has, seemed to come out and clarify. They're like, yeah, we have no plans, to work on games with them or anything. We're literally just using their cloud services to help build our super game that they've been talking about. So, Jaren, this super game though, did you see that fucking price tag in this article? It's absurd.
Yeah, $882 million over the next 5 years to achieve its super game ambitions.
Yeah, if that's accurate, I don't know if that's just them talking out their ass, but if they're actually working on an $882 million game over the next 5 years or whatever, I'm like, I think it's actually a super game. I think they're right. If they spend that much on a game, I think they get to call their game a super game at this point.
I wonder if what they're doing though is ramping up for something Call of Duty like. So the 882 million is actually on like 4 or like 3 games.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know. That's entirely possible. But I read that. I'm like, how? How are you going to make an $882 million? How are you going to do that?
Yeah, dude, I have no idea how they would even pull that off. And the one thing that we did talk about in that episode that didn't get released was that they have been really good about releasing their games on Xbox Game Pass. And I don't think there's going to be exclusives. I don't think we ever really thought there was going to be exclusives, but we kind of just assumed that this would just continue the good relationship of them putting stuff in Game Pass.
Yeah, it seems like less than like Jez Court. I don't want to point to him because we kind of somewhat agreed with what he was talking about in his article where he wrote up what this deal meant at the time. He's still kind of right though in terms of it's just, and like what Jaren said, it's just a deal that solidifies an already positive relationship. And even though this may not directly lead to certain things in the future, like this on its own, it is just like a goodwill thing between these two companies, and they're gonna keep working well together to do what they're doing. I guess Sega literally is like, they're just all in focused on their super game right now. And then they're using Microsoft's cloud servers to help achieve that. And then, we'll see what happens after that, especially if that game bombs. We'll see if they come to Microsoft for some things. Maybe they get bought out, maybe they don't. We'll see.
This is definitely their last ditch effort before Microsoft buys them, right? Because they just spent $882 million on something. If that doesn't work out, then Microsoft's going to be able to buy them easy.
Yeah, well, I guess they're currently spending it, right? They haven't spent that, right? The article doesn't say that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they'd consider investing up to that much.
Yeah, so it will definitely be less than that because there's no way. But even regardless, half of that is a lot of fucking money, especially for a game. Like that's a Rockstar level game. You know, like that's
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know how much. I'm not exactly sure how much that cost. It may have been a little less than $400 million, but I think it was like 400 or 500 million, right?
GTA 5 was only like 200 and something. The rest
I think
of,
Red Dead 2 was more though.
Yeah, because the rest of the money though was, I think 200 was spent on making the game, and then a big chunk was spent on advertising the game.
And that's a good way, and it worked out for them. It worked out swimmingly. But yeah, dude, this partnership, yeah, just Xbox out there getting in the cloud back in for everyone. You know, making them big moves. And well, like I said, they're in a good relationship with Sega right now. They're probably gonna get good deals in the future with their Sega titles and Game Pass, like Yakuza's had and other things. And you know, Microsoft will be a big part of this this super game, which I guess again they can say that now.
Yep. Xbox making some good moves out there, Caleb, and some moves that they should be making. They're starting to actually talk about. Xbox knows it needs to improve its video capture and sharing features. This is from Adam Bankhurst over at IGN, and he talks about Jason Ronald, who went on the what podcast was it?
Oh, it was the Iron Lords podcast.
Yes, that was the one. And he basically went on there and he talked about all things like Xbox 20th anniversary. And then while he started talking about that stuff, they started talking about the game DVR feature and even achievements later on in the article. But the main thing that they talked about was the game DVR. And he said, I will definitely say that game DVR is the one area, the capture and share experience, that I wish we were able to make more progress on this year than we were able to. Ronald replied, it's definitely a priority for us. So it's a priority that they know about. They're moving forward with it because the DVR was good at the start of the Xbox One, then got, like, it still ran slow and it wasn't like that great, but it still was better than it is now. Then they took a bunch of features out of it and now it's kind of just like a shell of its former self.
I mean, so the DVR and recording, like this is referring to your ability to capture clips and share them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a different take from this when like this was a news story and they're focusing on improving it. I mean, my take is that it works fine for what I need it to do. I guess they can always do more, but I have no problem like going into my settings. You can change whether you want it to record, 30 seconds, a minute. I don't know if it's a minute and a half or whatever. You can choose whether you want your screenshots to be 4K or 1080p, and then you can easily like take a screenshot or take a video, like easily take a video and everything. And it automatically uploads to the cloud. You can force it through if you want to change the order. And then like I go on my phone all the time, and I can load up my phone, go to my captures, and I can click on any of them. I can save them to my phone. I can message them to anybody on Xbox easily. If I save them to my phone, I can then post them in like Slack or in my text messages and send them to people, or they can just play in my phone easily. Like for what I've wanted to do with them, I haven't had any, like I literally have no issues with recording videos or screenshots or sharing them or uploading them or whatever in the app. Again, I'm sure it can get better, but I don't like my hot take is that I don't have any problems.
Well, you used to be able to fully independently edit the videos that came up. There was an entirely separate app that you could move them over
studio,
into.
Right?
Yeah, where you could edit it, you could add voiceover onto it, and you could do a whole bunch of fun things. And they completely removed that, and now you can just record clips.
So I guess being able to edit your clips in like particular ways, not just trim them, because you can already trim them pretty easily and pretty well, right? With the just trimming new clips and uploading them. And I'm like, yeah, that all works. But yeah, I haven't thought about editing my videos. You've obviously thought more about that and done it more in the past because of your just pedigree and like film student and all these other things. I never do that, and I don't have the time or wherewithal to. I just want to record what happened in my game. So again, for me, I'm good with it. But if they can make it better and make it easier to edit for everyone and add whatever the hell else they want to add without fucking it up, then yeah, I'm like, that's great.
The last thing I'll say about it is the removal of the Upload Studio, Caleb, made my experience and all my friends' experience around me 50% worse for
Sucks
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because you guys didn't get the videos of the documentary guy exploring Assassin's Creed Valhalla and interacting with the animals because I couldn't put audio over top of the clips anymore.
Jaren used to have some banger Assassin's Creed videos about him doing a nature documentary run, and it was some crazy shit. And then there was the Dead Space ones when I would leave to go pee and get some coffee, and Jaren would record some crazy shit. You guys missed it.
And I'd always have them edited before you got back, too. That was the benefit of having the Upload Studio. Now you would have to upload the video to your computer, edit it there, and then send it back.
Yeah, so they should fuck with that. But I mean, again, that's I don't want to say it's minor, but that's a total adjacent thing to just like the ability to record, trim, and share your videos, right? And like its functionality and its ability to work. Like, oh, that's good.
It's definitely gotten better over the last year because years before that, it was really inconsistent. Like sometimes you'd hit record, you'd get less of the clip than you thought you would. Or in Call of Duty, a lot of the time, it just wouldn't record anything. It would say it recorded and then didn't record it.
It was broken for a little bit there where it would only record 12 seconds instead of 30 or whatever you have it set to. That was annoying. And that seemed to be only Call of Duty. So I feel like that's not even Xbox's fault. But they have improved your ability, like you used to not, I don't think, be able to go into an app and save it, and download it and easily and these types of things. So, I mean, it's gotten better in mine. I wanted to ask, this is kind of we're done with that topic. Live on the podcast, though, what'd you say about they were talking about achievements in that podcast, Jared? Perk my ears up, man. What did they say about achievements?
They basically just said that it was another area that they wanted to improve on. And I think you liked a tweet about it where they talked about how Xbox could have a comparable thing to like a platinum or the changing of how achievements work. And Ronald basically said the same thing as, what was his name? Mike Ibarra said like 3 years ago when he still worked at Xbox, where they want to find a way to have like the achievement system reward players who tend to play like they might not play all of the games, but they might play like 1 million hours of Halo, where there should be like a way that is like reflected in the achievement system as well. And I believe they did touch on platinums.
Yeah, I'm always under the impression with you, or like we've talked about before, I should say off air, like one day in the far-flung future, because nothing remains the same forever, they're gonna do something to achievements. But like, I don't believe it. Like, you know how many years I've heard that they're working on the achievement system, or they're working on overhauling it, or they're working on do you know how many years I've heard that? So I just, at this point, I don't believe anybody. He's over there like, oh, we're looking at it. I'm like, sure, okay, when I die, you'll change it. Okay, fine, cool.
Yeah, well, he technically did say that DVR was still ahead of it, right?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah, I can see why, for a company standpoint of sharing videos and footage and things, I can see from their perspective why that would be more important to their brand and things. I can see that. Yeah,
because they also basically removed how the community tab used to work as well. Because we used to record videos, they would pop up in each other's community feeds, and you would even see them before I sent them to you. Now that is basically non-existent as well.
Yeah, or at least I don't know where that is, but I can just say that the point is that I see that stuff less often, or it's less available to me. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's hop over to the next story, and this is Phil. He's back again. He's got plans and he's got preferences.
Chatty Phil.
And here's what he said on Major Nelson's podcast. Phil said, Xbox is refilling the pipe. And he's basically talking about ambitious new ideas for the future, dude. He's getting ready to pipe us.
You're refilling that pipe, Jaron. Dios mío.
We started a bunch of Horizon 3 things. If you guys don't remember from last episode, he's not talking about Forza Horizon. They actually call the phases of Microsoft's production in relation to Xbox Horizon. And Horizon 1 is like things that are definitely going to happen. Horizon 2 is things that are going to happen in the future. And then Horizon 3 are like shots in the dark that are 5 to 10 years out. And it's funny because he says that they are shots in the dark that most don't come true. And then this is what he says in this interview. We started a bunch of Horizon 3 things a few years ago. Project xCloud was one of those. Game Pass was another one. The thing I'm excited about now is we're doing the same thing. We're refilling the pipe. We've got to be constantly pushing the boundaries of what we're doing because gamers will always demand more. We've got to be out there investing in that. And I like how in the previous thing we talked about, he said Horizon 3 things don't pay off. And then they were xClouded Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, both of those things, dude. And if you didn't listen to last week's episode, we highly recommend you go listen to that. A lot of Phil Spencer talking there and stuff about this Horizon kind of thing that they use within their own company to predict like for projects that they're working on in the time span that they're working on them. But yeah, man, I have no idea. The question here, obviously, because it's interesting news kind of that he talked to him and he's like, yeah, dude, we're working on new Horizon 3 projects now. Like we're looking at stuff that we may be implementing in 8 years and like trying to predict what the industry is going to look like and what people are going to want and what it's going to be. And I mean, that's kind of all the news there. So that begs the question, Jaron, what do you think? Do you have any ideas of what they're working on or like what you think they should be looking at or what,
I got an idea, Caleb.
This is the way you said that made me hurt because it sounds like it's going to be stupid. Is it stupid?
No. I think it's a good one.
You said, I got an idea, Caleb. And I was like, what? What the fuck?
So a big movement that has made film the most, like, more popular in the past decade has been the accessibility of it. Everybody has an iPhone now. Anyone can make a movie. I think that Microsoft is going to make some pushes towards indie development and all that kind of stuff. And I think we're going to get to a point, maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, where making a game will be as simple as picking up your iPhone and filming a film.
Do you think that's really coming? Or in like 15 years, maybe? Or 25? Or do you think that's like 5 years out?
Well, we've already seen that with Unreal Engine and being integrated into shows like The Mandalorian and all that kind of stuff, that it is simple enough for people to understand this software and use it in film. So as the people who make engines continue to simplify the process and engines can do more stuff to give you kind of like more leeway, it does seem it's far easier to pick up that kind of stuff than it ever was before. And I think within, I'd say more near the 10-year than the 5-year mark, that we could actually have a system where just your average person on the street with like a little bit of training, because obviously not everyone can just pick up an iPhone and make a good video. Like, you still have to understand composition and like the things that go into what makes stuff look good. I assume you'll still need that base knowledge. I just don't think it'll be as complicated as it is now, unless you want to make really high level AAA, like, because games are going to continue to progress, like with cloud and all that kind of stuff. I think just to make a basic indie game will start to be easier.
I think you're right. I think that's super smart and insight. Like, honestly, I'm not even being facetious. I think that's super insightful, and I think that's probably accurate. Like, their ability to, first of all, they're trying to publish everywhere and be everywhere to get a large hundreds of millions, if not billions, of players on the Xbox or Microsoft kind of platform. And then they're going to try to make game making accessible to as many people as possible to, you would say, saturate that platform and like just make that kind of their own kind of publishing platform and things, are kind of a home for a lot of different types of projects. That seems smart. The second thing I think that they could be working on more, it's more so just an extension of what they're doing now, but it would be something that's kind of closer rather than what you are saying. I feel is farther out in terms of being able to get those development tools and try to make something like that work. I don't even know how they would do that, but I'm sure they know way better than I would. But this other one would be the kind of what they're doing with Sega right now. Like, they want to be the cloud server backend for all of the industry, or as much as the industry as they can, right? Regardless of who they are.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're taking the cloud gaming thing, and they're going to keep improving and implementing on cloud gaming and how that works and is integrated with their platforms, and maybe work on some different hardware and devices. We'll see what comes out of that. But also being the cloud backend for as much of the gaming industry as they possibly can, just like they're trying to do with Sega now, and having their foot in all of those doors.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. I think you know what, Darren, I don't like to brag, but I feel like we both nailed it and we're right. So that's it.
Yeah. So solid opinions from us, Caleb. That was almost like an X Block discussion there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I agree. It was. I mean, I can't say anything else besides we were 100% right and our opinions are correct. That's it.
Speaking of our opinions, why don't we hop over to Game Pass or Gameplay?
Oh, Jaren. Oh, wait, is there any Game Pass news this week, or are we good?
No. The closest thing was Mass Effect might be coming, but it's still a shot in the dark, and there's not really any actual confirmation.
That's coming to EA Play one day anyway.
Yep.
So we already know.
And our Game Pass or Gameplay, which if you're listening, you might not have heard us talk about it yet if you only jumped on a couple episodes ago, but essentially every month we spin a wheel and we pick out a game specifically from Game Pass that Caleb and I haven't played, and then we hop onto that game and we give you our thoughts on it at the last week of each month. And this month's game was Wreckfest. And I've been playing it for a while. Caleb's been playing it relatively recently in our usual fashion. And yeah, I'm going to let Caleb talk about it first because I feel like I can give more insight into some opinions that he has
okay.
So that I can go more in depth on if needed.
Yeah, I have an idea of how I wanted to broach this too. So Jaren started playing this almost immediately after we spun it, which that's what nerds do, all right? They do their homework early, not your boy Caleb G. Caleb G started playing it this week, all right? The week that you're hearing this, the week before that. That's when I started playing it. And, you know, Wreckfest, Jaren was telling me about it for weeks, and he's like, I'm excited. You know, this game is pretty good. He likes it, you know, and it's Wreckfest. It's just you're beating the shit out of people with cars. And I was like, okay, I'm excited to play it. So I downloaded it, loaded it up, And I mean, you'll get my opinions overall early. I mean, I was kind of impressed with it. I think it's a THQ Nordic game, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right about that, Jared?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I think it's a THQ Nordic game. Loaded it up, and I was like, okay, there's a lot of menu shit going on here. Did fun with the menus, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna press play. I'm just gonna start playing, and immediately I loaded up into a fucking arena of lawnmowers, and we started. It just like 3, 2, 1, go, and I was like, all right, and I'm a lawnmower guy. And I started, and all these lawnmowers are coming at me, and I'm hitting people, and they're flying off their lawnmowers. I'm like, oh! And then I hit this other dude, his lawnmower crashed, and and there's fucking 30 lawnmowers in this lawn. I don't even know what's happening. And we beat the shit out of each other, and that happens for 8 minutes, 7 minutes, and then it's over, and it says I won. I'm like, dude, fucking damn right I did. I beat these other lawnmower bitches out their asses, dude. They know me as a lawnmower boy. I was out here. And so I was like, all right, that was pretty fun. Loaded up the next thing, Jaron. And what was it? It was like a race, like a dirt. I guess it was a dirt race kind of thing, where I go around a track and shit. And then I was going around, and I was like, okay, it's a race, fine, we gonna race in this game. And so I'm driving along, I get about 80 yards out from the tracks, this is 60 yards, and someone beats me in the ass, Jaron. Not in real life, in the game. I was like, what the fuck was that? And then people just start bullying me, and I was like, oh, I'm getting bullied, Jaron. And so I keep driving. And then I start bullying people. I'm like, well, I'm pit maneuvering this motherfucker, dude. He just beat my ass. And so I pit maneuvered him, and then he flies off the track. And I'm like, hell yeah. And what it turns out is you're just racing, trying to beat each other up the whole time and nail each other. It's just it's like bully racing. I'm like, well, I can get behind this, dude. This is what Forza Horizon doesn't let me do. This is like some Need for Speed shit up in here. So I started doing that. I win that race. I'm like, all right, this was fun. And then I'm like, what the? And I actually look in the menus to what I'm picking now. And I'm like, this sounds cool. It's like a whole, what is it called? Where you have a rally where you just beat the shit out of each other's cars. What is that called?
Oh, like a derby?
Yeah, something. I don't know, something like that. It's just we're in an arena, and so I load that up and picture a circular sort of arena, guys, kind of like a bowl, a little bit, kind of not a total bowl, but because it's not that steep, but it's a bowlish arena, and it's all dirt. And I start, and then I see that I'm lined up against like my tailgates to the wall, and I'm facing the center. And all around the ring is a bunch of other vehicles. And I'm like, oh my God. And then it's like 3, 2, 1. It's just, and everyone just goes toward the middle. And it's just a clusterfuck, Jaron. And we're all beating the shit out of each other. And I think I lost that one because I lost too much health. But like I made it to the top 3 or 4. And I was just like, that's all I need. This is fun. I don't need to play it that much anymore to determine what I ruled on this, Jaron. When I think about this game is that, and there's always a caveat with these sort of reviews that we give, because not everyone likes every game. But if you are interested in in racing games at all, any games with cars if you would play a game that is a car game, I would recommend you play this game because it's so unique, and surprisingly it runs well, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as good as Forza Horizon 5. It doesn't handle quite as well, but it's like super fun, It's a fun game. And that's all the kind of thing you want in a game. It's a game where you get to literally just go race and you get to fulfill your driving fantasies of beating the shit out of other cars,
Yeah.
And if that sounds fun to you, go check it out. Overall, if I had to pick one or the other, play. It's not a pass. We play this game. Go try it out for like 20 minutes and just even if you don't play it or beat it, just have some fun and play it. Like just play it for 20 minutes and then bounce. And it's just a good time. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, like I'll say that this is the most cathartic game that you can play because every time you hop into it, you're just slamming into shit. And like the way that you win is by slamming into shit. Like if you're doing a race, like sure you can get way out in front early because the game's not that hard. And you can just like win far and away. But it's not as fun. Like you kind of want to sit in like 4th, 5th for most of the race, banging people off the road and dropping back into the club and like banging around. And the thing that Caleb pointed out, like he said the lawnmowers, he said the race, and then he said the derby. And all of those things are pretty different, right, Caleb? Like that's a lot of variety.
I'm sure there's more content too.
And I played probably 9 more hours than Caleb did, and I never redid a race.
What, it was like totally different, like all the whole time?
Everything was different. We might have got back in like the same arena, but we would get, if we ended up back in the same arena, there would be slightly different ramps.
Nice.
And we would be in like RVs this time, or like school buses, or there's one race where everyone is sitting on sofas. and you're driving around with a sofa, and if you crash at all, you fly headfirst off your sofa straight off into like the path of oncoming other sofas.
This is just a fun game, and I forgot to say it when I was talking about my stuff, Jaren. It runs at like a smooth 60 frames, right? I'm not sure if it doesn't on Series X or not on Series X, but on Series X it runs at a smooth 60 frames, so it looks really good for racing game. Even most Horizon games I think ran at 30 frames per second. Forza Horizon games. This one runs at 60. And again, it looks like if PUBG looked good. That's what it looks like. Like it looks like if PUBG looked really, really good with the PUBG style. So it doesn't look bad. It just again doesn't look like Forza Horizon 5. And I was gonna say what Jaren said too. I noticed this while I was playing it. I thought it while I was playing it. It's the only game I think that I played, only a racing game, where I don't want to win. Like getting in first isn't winning. Because you want to be in in the middle of the pack so that you're fighting all the other cars. That's the fun part. If you just drive away with it, you can win the race, but who cares? You want to be back there beating the shit out of people.
Yeah, and the beating the shit out of people is a blast. Obviously, the reason the game doesn't look as good is because every part of the car can like fly off and has like a full crumple zone, and it doesn't need to. Therefore, everything needs to be like individually rendered and like come off and.
There's a lot of individual destruction like mechanics that aren't just paint jobs like in Forza Horizon. They're actual like physically affect the car.
Yeah, like your whole car can fall apart. You can you can hit enough things in a race that where your brakes don't work, and then you're kind of just got to slow up and drift around corners.
I guess you maybe can do that in Forza Horizon 5 too with the right settings. I don't know, but it seems it's more what the game is about and more detailed for that purpose in this game.
Yeah, and the game leans into it. Like, this isn't a game that's like, all right, you can wreck people, but you should drive. Like, a guy slams into you and it goes, that guy's now your rival. Bury him in the dirt. And you're like, oh, okay.
And there's point values?
Yeah, and every race has like an additional feature set of challenges that you can do, and lots of them are like pit maneuver 3 guys or slam a guy into a wall and take him out. And then it's also like, and yeah, win the race if you want.
It is literally Wreckfest, dog.
Yeah, so I am 100% giving this game a play. I'm keeping it installed, and I'll probably go back and like play it a little bit every once in a while. And yeah, it's just an all-around fun experience that I would 100% recommend. I would say that this is the best game that we have played in Game Pass or Play.
Yeah, I can't remember all of them because I'm stupid, but it may be. It may be the best game that we've... And it's definitely, I mean... On a base level of what does fun mean, this is the fun one. Yeah. This is like, if your boss pissed you off at work today, dude, go play Wreckfest to go beat a dude to death in a car.
Yeah, because Psychonauts was my number 2, and then I think the only other game we gave a pass to, or a play to, was Donut County, which is a good game, but it's only 2 hours long.
Yeah. So yeah, Donut County was also really good. My girlfriend was playing that in the living room, without prompt, like a few weeks ago. And I saw her, I was like, that Donut County? She's like, yeah, she's just sliding a hole around, sucking shit into it.
Yeah, it's fun. I hope they make DLC for that game at some point. But yeah, Wreckfest, 100%. The X Block gives it a play. Get out there, try it before it leaves Game Pass. We would 100% recommend it.
Yeah. Go play. Don't you don't have to beat it. Just try it out. Go play it.
And next week, we're going to have a bit of a surprise in how Game Pass or Play works. And
not how it works, just how it works for December.
Yeah, how it works for December. So just like get ready for that. Maybe mark that in on your calendar. It's gonna be a fun time.
Good surprise. This is just for December, but it's a good surprise. All right, we'll get out of there though. Get out of here, Jaren. Game Pass, gameplay out.
Yep. And now we're hopping into the FAF, and the FAF is where you get the news that you don't need to know, but the news you might want to find out. And it is essentially the news you see scrolling by on your Twitter feed, and you really want to click on it because it's got a clickbaity headline or some douche's face is in it, and you're like, what did that douche do?
It's my face.
But you should not click on that because you should come here and listen to us explain it to you in a fun way so you don't have to read a bunch of faff. All right, Caleb, hit me with the first one.
Dude, microfaff.
Microfaff. Xbox's new virtual museum explores its history, including Red Ring of Death. And this was actually a pretty cool thing that Xbox dropped on us. It was a whole virtual kind of museum that you could explore, but not all of the achievement features and things were 100% spot on, and some of the stuff was spotty. Overall, a good experience, but not enough to make it into the actual show.
No, it was really cool, though. Like, someone actually developed this shit. There was a lot of stuff playing in the background. It is literally museum.xbox.com is a virtual museum of Xbox's history that you can walk through, interact with, like, look around and see other players. and all you can literally it's like a museum. If you've ever been to a museum, there are exhibits and things you can go up to and read. Red versus Blue is in there. They actually put in a document from how Xbox tried to buy Nintendo back in the day. Like all this random shit. And then it has an area for you where it shows your history with Xbox, like your most played game and all these other, a bunch of types of stats. And they have achievements too, but like Jaren said, they're a little messed up. It said I only had like 15,000 something achievements earned. I'm like, yo, son, listen, I have 18 something thousand achievements earned. All right, don't shortchange me. But other than that, it's pretty cool.
And next up in Microfaf, Xbox has been sending gift boxes to random players to celebrate its 20th anniversary. They contain a Halo-themed Xbox Series X controller, 12 months of Xbox Game Pass, and a large crystal statue.
Of cocaine?
Like an actual crystal statue that says Xbox 20 on it.
Did you get one, Jaren?
No, of course not.
Yeah,
I would have loved one.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe one day they'll love us, Caleb.
Co-host of the world's #1 Xbox podcast, probably, and they don't even give us, our 20th anniversary gear. They probably sent one. You think they sent one a Major Nelson, Jaren, fake podcast over there?
They might have.
They probably did. When fake podcast, he's second most popular, probably.
All right, Caleb, hit us with the next one.
What does this say, dude? What did you write here? Read to the people what you wrote. I'm not saying that.
No, that's your job.
Video games in 2021, terrorism, cock, and cricket. What does that mean? Oh, use the Oxford comma. Good for you, Jay.
Roblox sues YouTuber for $1.6 million over terrorizing kids on the platform.
Yo, how many Robux is that?
He has been hit for glamorizing the April 3rd, 2018 active shooter and murder at YouTube headquarters, attempting to upload a nude image of himself with only a lampshade covering his genitals,
What?
using racial and homophobic slurs, creating and using inappropriate accounts with sexual names, attempting to upload a sex game, attempting to upload a picture of Hitler.
Dude, Roblox is a dangerous place, man. Stay away from there, dude. Go play GTA 5 where it's safe.
And that is 100% why he's getting sued, because this is a game for kids. And this guy apparently has 700 subscribers. I'm not even going to say his name because we don't really want to send more people his way.
No.
He just posts videos of him just doing shady shit on Roblox.
Dude, this guy, Jaren, this guy's a dick.
Speaking of dicks,
Okay.
Activision took years to fire someone who signed emails 1-800-ALL-COCK.
I heard about this, and Jaren, look at me through your monitor. You can't see me, but look at me.
Yep.
Do you think I'm surprised? You think I'm shocked, Jaren? You think I have a shocked face right now?
I don't think you're surprised. And one of my favorite things scrolling through this story was in the related stories that Kotaku has listed. I saw Bobby Kotick has always been a slimy douchebag. was the headline of another story.
I mean, it's accurate, Jaren. When you send me emails from now on, leave 1-800-COCK at the bottom, please. Thank you.
No, dude. Not if we want to not be Activision.
That's true.
We got to start a winning culture here.
We're friends, though. This man is in a company sending this to people. Like, if you and I sent that to each other, like funny texts or some shit, we'd be like, oh, like that's kind of whatever. You fucking idiot. You're a dumbass. But these people are like in the company. He's like, all right, Janet, I'll get on that right quick. 1-800-COCK out. Like, what? What if you can't do that? You can't do that in the fucking company, man. These people aren't like, this is a professional environment.
What an asshole. And the last one, Caleb, I have delivered on all three. Cricket 22 delayed because of sex scandal.
Oh, dude, I heard about this too, man. I've heard about it. You didn't surprise me this week with I got with the FAF this week. I read it like an idiot. I could have just come here.
Yeah, dude, but you didn't think I was going to deliver after the title of Video Games of 2021, Terrorism, Cock, and Cricket, but all of them were spot on.
Yeah, hey, you nailed it. And what is this Cricket man? What was it again with his dick? What was he doing?
He had some like thing. It's the cover athlete for Cricket 22, and he had some issue with a female colleague that they used to work together, and the court said it was consensual, but then the woman said she was going to put out the text messages, and then he said he wasn't going to be on the cover anymore and stepped down as captain of his team.
Imagine if we could all collectively knock on the doors of everyone in the world and hand them a don't diddle card. Do you think that would help people not fucking diddle?
Probably not, because I feel like everyone gets told as a kid to keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah, they do. That's true.
And it doesn't work, so.
Yeah.
All right, Caleb. Now we're moving on to quick quips.
Okay.
Steve Aoki is performing a virtual Sonic-themed concert this month.
Jaren, that's A-okay.
Wow, you were ready for that one.
I wasn't. I don't know what these are. It just says quick quips in my doc.
And the last one, which I traditionally take, Avengers Spider-Man update won't include story missions, unlike previous character DLC. Might not be good enough for some people, but it's good enough to be in our podcast.
I want Spider-Man. It's J. Jonah Jameson, Jaron.
Yeah, dude, I like how they waited all this time for this, and now they really get nothing.
It kind of sucks, honestly. Like, I don't even know why you want your brand attached to this.
What a fucking clusterfuck.
Jaron, can we say hashtag Fortnite in the tag? Do we put that in the FAF?
Now we can.
Hell yeah, dude. All right.
Now we can. And that is the end of the X Block podcast, episode 35. A solid end, talking about Spider-Man and Fortnite. And if you want to listen to this podcast somewhere else than you're listening to it right now, you can head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Overcast, anything else that Anchor supports. If you're one of those people that listens on YouTube, feel free to head over to YouTube, the X Block Podcast. If you would like to follow us outside of this podcast, you can head over to Twitter at X Block Podcast, where you will find out that the podcast isn't coming when it's supposed to because I'm an idiot and forget to put it out. And you can head over to Instagram at X Block Podcast, and we might be switching that up in the future, but that'll be a thing for next episode. It might be moving over to a different account, but we'll keep you posted on that. And Caleb is going to now tell you about Patreon and Twitch.
The_X_Block is where you can find us on Twitch and follow us. And Jaron, were you thinking about maybe streaming soon?
Yeah, I'm actually going to stream this week, and I'm going to start off. My plan is to stream as many of the Game of the Year games as I have access to. If somehow I end up with a Switch by the time that the world comes alive, then who knows? Maybe I'll find a way to stream that. But so far, the only games I can stream are Deathloop, Psychonauts 2, Resident Evil Village, and It Takes Two. So if you're looking for those, I'm going to start with Psychonauts 2.
There you go, man, dude. The_X_Block over at Twitch. Go follow us. You will get notified when Jaron goes live. If you go do it, it's going to be cool. It's going to be exciting. Go do it. All right. And then the other one, Jaron, usually this is where I pimp. Patreon.com/XBlockPodcast, where you could go over there and give us a little bit of money for our trouble. But Jaron, guess what? I'm not doing it this week. You know, I'm going to use some reverse psychology. I think I said vicecology to start off with, but whatever, Jaron. Reverse psychology, man. You don't even want to know what's over there. It's crazy, but you don't want to check it out. You don't want to go to patreon.com/XBlockPodcast. You don't want to look at that. Don't do it. That's it.
All right. And because it's Thanksgiving, we are thankful for all of your listens and all of your views. And what we're not thankful for, because it doesn't happen enough, is you're not telling enough of your friends and your family about this podcast. So if you didn't tell Grandma while you were at Thanksgiving dinner to listen to the X Block podcast, I want you to phone her right now and tell her to get on the horn with all her old people friends when they all hang out at McDonald's. Tell them about the X Block podcast so they tell their grandkids about the X Block podcast. And we're going to do the version of trickle-down economics, but for marketing.
If she didn't cut open that turkey and hit something hard and be, what the fuck is this? Grandma says, what the fuck is this? And then she like puts her hand in the turkey and pulls it out, and it's just a fucking rock that says X Block on it. If that didn't happen, are you really a fan?
X Block out.
Thanks for listening to the X Block. New episodes every Monday at 5 a.m.